Have you ever met someone and within seconds, you just clicked? The conversation flowed, everything felt so easy, and you just walked away thinking, I really like them. But then on the flip side, you probably also met people where no matter how hard you tried or efforted, the vibe was just not there. The energy was off, the conversation felt forced, and by the end, you were just depleted. Well, what if I told you that those instant connections aren't just about luck or personality, but it's actually about something that's happening unconsciously, and that you could learn to create that sense of connection with almost anyone? All of that comes down to rapport. And that's what we'll be talking about today. As a certified master practitioner of NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, I've seen how this works in real time. Whether you're trying to build trust in a business setting, improve personal relationships, or just not really feel awkward in a social setting like a networking event or dinner party, this is a skill that you can literally use to change how you connect with people instantly. The NLP approach to rapport comes from Milton Erickson, who's the greatest hypnotherapist of all time. And he understood something huge. Your unconscious mind is way more powerful than your conscious mind. That's why we can drive a car, zone out, and still end up at the right place. So if you want to build deeper trust with people, you don't just connect with their conscious mind, you need to build rapport unconsciously. And how do we do that? Using a strategy called matching and mirroring. Now, you've probably noticed how when people are in sync with each other, they naturally mirror each other. I remember going to a family gathering with my boyfriend, Santi, and he and I were laughing about how his dad and all of his friends were standing in a circle, and they were literally all standing the exact same way. They had their arms crossed, their head tilted in the same direction, and their weight shifted to their right leg. You might also see this when you see couples on a date that are really into each other. They're probably like leaning into each other at the same time. Or maybe with friends who are having a great time, they start to kind of pick up on each other's language, or they start laughing in a similar way. Now, why is this? It's because people like people who are like themselves. I'll say that again. People like people who are like themselves. And the good news, you can consciously create this sense of connection without it necessarily being weird or forced. You see, communication happens on 3 levels: with our body language, with our tone of voice, and with our words. Most of us focus on what we say, the words that we use. But here's the kicker. Words are only 7% of communication. Let me say that again. Words are only 7% of communication. Notice that difference. Body language makes up 55% of communication, and tone of voice is 38%. So let's tap into this and use it to our advantage. Now, rapport isn't about tricking people or copying them in a weird or creepy way. It's an ethical way of creating a sense of sameness or unity so that their unconscious mind goes, oh, this person's like me. They get me. I like that. Here's how we do this. We can match someone's physiology or their body language. We can match their tone of voice, or we can match their words. And I'll give you a personal story about how powerful this stuff is. I had a potential client call me once. Well, let's call her Emma. And Emma didn't even want to be on the call. In fact, the first thing she said to me was, listen, I'm meeting with you as a favor to the person who introduced us because he spoke really highly of you and your work, but coaching doesn't work for me. I've tried it before and I'm not interested. Honestly, I can just leave right now. I don't want to waste your time. And her body language matched her words. She kind of had hunched shoulders. Her arms were slumped. Sometimes they crossed, a flat tone. Now at this point, most people would end the call, or they'd try to convince her, maybe sell her on why coaching works and why she should give it a shot. But instead, I actually practiced what you're going to learn. I got into rapport with her. Here's exactly what I did. I matched her energy. So I kept my tone pretty calm and level, just like hers. And Now, if I would have come in all hyped up and super excited, it would have created resistance. She wouldn't have felt like I'm like her, she's like me. I also mirrored her body language subtly, kind of leaned back a little, just like how she was. I wasn't forcefully trying to mimic her, but just enough for her unconscious mind to feel like we were on the same page. I also paced and led her resistance. So instead of arguing with her, I agreed with her. And I led her towards some more openness. I said, "That's totally fair. Now, can you tell me what's important for you to take away from our time together?" And that small little seed began to create some space in our conversation. Her posture relaxed just a little, her voice softened, and the conversation started to open up. And I kid you not, by the end of the call, she goes, "All right, how do I get started? This is literally the only kind of coaching program I'd ever want to sign up for." Why? Because it began with me matching her. I built rapport, and then I was able to lead and guide the conversation. So let's teach you exactly how I did this and what you can do so you can remember this for yourself. Now, remember, we can match someone's physiology or their body language, their tone of voice, or their words. So let's start with the first one, physiology. How do you match someone's physiology? Well, you can subtly match their body language. You can match their postures, the gestures that they're making. For example, if they're sitting back with their arms crossed, you're not going to immediately copy them and also cross your arms. That's going to be a little weird. But instead, you can kind of casually lean back a little and over time cross your arms as well. You can mirror their posture. Are they sitting upright or are they kind of more relaxed? How about their gestures? Are they using grand gestures or are they keeping them pretty small? What's their breathing like? Are they breathing kind of fast up there in their chest? Or is it slow, deep belly breaths? How about their face? Are they smiling and super expressive or are they a little more reserved? A little bit more serious? How about their touch? We always hear, give a firm handshake, but what if someone gives us a gentle handshake? We gotta match that. So you can begin to see how you can use this yourself in meetings, in interviews, in networking, or even on dates. Now, second, we can match someone's tone of voice. So if you're on a call or in a conversation with someone, your tone of voice especially matters there, arguably even more than the words that you use. So what can you match? With someone's tone, is their voice kind of soft or gentle? Or is it strong and confident? How about their pace? Are they speaking really, really fast, really, really quickly? Or are they speaking kind of slower? How about their volume? Are they loud and energetic, or are they a little bit softer, more reserved? So for example, if I'm calling someone on the phone and they're speaking kind of slowly and softly, then I come in very loud and very quickly, their unconscious mind feels a mismatch. But if you match their pace and their tone, they feel safe, they feel understood. Now, finally, you can match and mirror someone's words and also what you have in common with them. People feel closer to those who share their experiences and speak their language. So what can you match here? You can match the specific words that they use. So if someone says, "I'm really excited," instead of using the word happy when you respond, you can use the word excited as well. If someone calls their team, their group, their clan, you can use that same language as well. You can also match someone's common experiences that they have with you. Like, have you ever noticed that when you find something in common with a stranger, like maybe where they went to school, where they grew up, or even a hobby that they love, you're just kind of able to hit it off much more easily. Again, that's because people like people who are like them. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, this is gonna be a little too obvious. I'm probably gonna be discovered. Well, not unless you're blatantly copying every single movement immediately, which is kind of creepy, or you repeat the exact words that someone uses excessively, which is also a little weird, a little creepy, or you overdo it so much that they notice and they feel like they're in a game of Simon Says. That's a little awkward. This isn't about mimicking people like a robot, but it is about subtly aligning your energy with theirs so that they feel a natural connection to you. So make sure you keep it natural. Start by matching only one or two things at a time, like maybe the way that someone's sitting, their gestures that they're making, maybe their tone of voice as well. And most important, focus on connection. This isn't just a technique. At its core, rapport and matching and mirroring is about making people feel seen, heard, and understood. And when they do that, then they trust you. So whether you're closing a deal, leading a team, or just deepening the relationships that are meaningful to you, know that rapport isn't a trick. It's about establishing a genuine connection. And as Tony Robbins says, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. And trust isn't built through words alone, it's felt. So as you go out throughout your day, I invite you to notice how you naturally match and mirror people you already like, and then start to begin to apply this intentionally. And as we talked about, start small. You can practice this with your friends or family in a safe environment. And if you liked this video, I think you'll love this next one, where we dive into 3 powerful strategies for building a sense of authentic confidence in group settings. I'll see you there, and I'm sending you love.